Please, I'm not sure where Kayla went. Kalyn. Honey, watch that cord there. It's stretched. Is Kalyn in there? Okay. Why don't y'all come on up here out of the rain? If Clark's got to get wet, there's no sense in you getting wet. Philippians 1:3 is one of my favorite verses. It says, I thank my God upon every remembrance of you. I do want to say I made a mistake this morning. I asked Debbie to announce about the graveside of Dottie, but it is a private family graveside. So forgive my mistake on that. That was my error. I've been challenging our church now for weeks to ask the question, what would Jesus do? I didn't get any responses this week, but I'd sure love to hear some of your stories about what you did this week in response to that question. You're not bragging about yourself. You're telling us a story. But I just want to tell you, the most important thing you can do for people is to love them. This family across the road needs our love. I told Miss Clark yesterday, Michaela, I said, it's no mistake you moved to Pine Log Road at 2000. I remember the day those kids moved in, I went, oh boy, we've got new kids in the neighborhood. And it took a few times, but because of this crazy pandemic, that family started coming to church because the boys came in making all kinds of noise on the bicycles out here. And it's been a beautiful noise. If there's a lady here named Carol that I met yesterday, would you toot your horn? She told us she was going to try to be here today. We met her while we were having lunch yesterday. She said she had a need and we prayed with her. Folks, that's what it's all about. And I want us to support one another in prayer and what these men and women have said. And it's a beautiful story of these young people. But I want my wife and did I say Kayla?
You did, but she's Kalyn. Yeah.
Kalyn, all right. Honey, you come on over and tell this story. I'm on slight medication, and I'm supposed to be on script. Tell us about it.
Okay. I don't want him to fall because I'm moving here. Closer to the mic. Oh, okay. Come on over here. I'm introducing you to Kalyn Floyd this week. She has been attending church here for 8 weeks now. And probably some of you don't know that because she parks right down front so she can hear and see everything. And she's by herself, but she, you haven't met her because she's in the car. But Kalyn came about 8 weeks ago, and she's a little shy, so I'm talking for her today. And but she came, and the first time she came, she said, I actually was a little scared, and so I drove by 3 times before I ever pulled into the parking lot. And she said, then I decided I would pull into the parking lot. And the one thing I noticed when she pulled in that day, and I went over and talked to her, she had her Bible on the seat. And she said, I've been thinking about church a lot lately. So God was working in her heart before she came. And you know, her parents, she remembered that her parents were married here quite a few years ago. And she had a friend. She saw her friend on Facebook was attending church. Whitney, you've had a big influence. Amen. And I'm thankful that you've been coming. And so she came and she said, that Sunday, Layla sang, Hold On to Me. And that song grabbed her heart. And she kept coming. She knew where to go when she wanted church. And so this week at her request, we met with her on Thursday morning and talked to her. And really what Kalyn wanted was she wanted Jesus.
Amen.
And so we had the joy of seeing Kalyn come to Jesus this week. Isn't that right? Yes. Yeah. And so, yes, I want you to do that. Yes, we're so happy. And I'm glad that you all are welcoming her, but she came to Jesus this week. And so she wanted you all to know it.
Amen. Praise
Thank
the Lord.
you. Thank you. Yeah.
Before Cindy leaves, I didn't tell Cindy I was going to do this, but we got to witness to one of our nurses at the hospital. So tell them a little bit about that witness.
Oh, well, that's a little interesting too. Remember, he was under anesthesia because of the surgery, and so when he was waking up, he kept saying to the nurses, I hope I didn't say anything weird. I hope I didn't say anything weird. And they said, no, you didn't. And he kept asking us that over and over again. And we said, it's fine. And the nurse said, well, even if you did, we're not allowed to tell it. But anyway, so then they asked him about, something about his preaching on Sunday. And he told them that he was going to be preaching Sunday, and they wanted to know what the message was about. So he started telling the message to her of what he was going to talk about. And but right at the end of that, he started crying, and he said, there's just so many sad people with so many sad problems. And she looked at me and she said, are you all right? And I said, he has a big heart, you know. And so even in the time that he was out, he was thinking about who had needs and about what his message was going to be. And I won't tell you the rest of what he said.